One of the great pleasures of my job is that I get to meet my heroes. So, 4 or 5 years ago, I never dreamed of being able to shake hands with Peter Danaher, but I am so glad that he is here today to talk to us about his research. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Ali. Can you all hear me okay with the mic on here? Good. My topic is very similar to Martin's topic this morning. And so one of the things we do in academia is when we have to write up a paper is we have to explain how we differentiate our work from previous work. So I'm going to do that as we go through this talk. I won't do it all up front because there's no need to right now, but you'll see some overlap and some, in some ways, refreshing overlap in terms of consistency of results. But our setting and the modus of what we're doing is a little bit different. So I'm going to explain as we go. The reason I got involved is through my connection at Monash and also through Tracy. They have a centre there called the Australian Centre for Retail Studies. And this group who are called MoCo, who did this trial, this little startup, they were a member of this Australian Centre for Retail Studies. And they said, we have this data, we don't know what to do with it, we did the trial's now over, can you guys do anything with it? You're supposed to be clever people, can you please do something with it? So I don't pretend that I was involved in the design, but certainly have been involved in the downstream analysis. So here we set the agenda, what are we trying to do with this thing? We're trying to see, are there differences across product categories? Are some days and times better, a bit like what Martin was talking about? Does proximity matter? Okay, and I'll talk about proximity in more detail in a second. And then, more importantly, we talked about targeting. Is there a particular type of person that redeems? I think that question came up this morning. Was it you that asked that question? Is there a strange animal out there that has a redemption kind of proclivity? And yes, the answer is yes, if you want to get that in now. So these London guys, they set their thing in a mall as well. And the way that worked in London was they had... I've been at London Business School. Ali said I've been visiting London Business School is one of those places too. Anyway, the London guys, what they did was when you went into the mall, you got your mobile phone out, and you basically texted the company and said, I'm here in the mall, announced myself, and please send me coupons, sort of thing. So they said, we're going to design something a little bit snazzier than that. Their mall was called High Point, and I found out later because of some of the crime in the area, it was later called Knife Point. Anyway, it was a biggish mall, had 400 stores, but about only 40 participated in the trial. And the trial went on, here's the dates here, for about 2 years, middle of August 2008 to June 2010. And so it went for 2 years. They recruited about 8,500 people at the startup stage here in August 2008. And I've got a usable sample of about 5,500. What happened was about 3,000 people, they used this thing once and then disappeared. Never saw them again. Okay, and so that wasn't really a great deal of information. So you've got to have at least 2 goes at this couponing system, and I'll explain how the couponing dispensing went very shortly. I did mathematics as an undergraduate, but just to fill in the course, I thought I'd do experimental psychology, and we had to work in a laboratory with rats. So you might remember the Skinner box. Anybody heard of the Skinner box? In the Skinner box, you put the rat in the box, and the rat puts its little hand on the bar, and a grain of seed comes out, right? This is a bit like what we've got. You swipe the phone, and 3 coupons come out, right? So we thought, well, if these people are going to get trained up on swiping their phone and doing the coupons, so maybe if they keep swiping, look at those, don't like those ones, keep swiping again. No. But in any one day, the most you could get was 3. What they tried to do was give people a diversity of coupons. If you hadn't received one before, this might be one to get this time. So try and increase the breadth of the coupons as opposed to the narrowness of them. So you can see very clearly from this graph that participation peaks, in the first few months and then drops off pretty rapidly after that. So we can see that there's a bit of initial excitement here from our panelists that falls away. I'm going to use some of this demographic data. I said about 60% of people did supply age and gender because it helps us kind of understand who these people are. And first of all, you won't be shocked to learn that we're about 2/3 women in here. Because if you go to a shopping mall, you see mostly women. Okay? And so that's what we have here in our trial as well, about 2/3 women. Now here's the average number of swipes. So it's not that different between men and women. And the redemption rate is actually slightly higher for men. But the overall redemption rate is about 1%. So when I first saw that, I thought, wow, 1%, that's pretty depressing, right? And Martin says you got 4% for your actual downloading of the coupon. So then from download to actual redemption may be lower again. So, and then if you look at, there's a long history of coupons, of course, and I thought, what about newspaper coupons? How often do they get clipped out and redeemed? That happens to be around about 1% as well, or less. And so the mobile phone coupons, seem to have about the same redemption rate as anyone else. Have a look at age now. Age is actually pretty interesting. We've got a younger skew. Most of the people are aged under 40, and greater than 60. That I had you in Australia doesn't mean we're all young in Australia. It means there's just not many young people in the trial. Okay, this is percentage points here. But what I thought was really interesting is over here is the number of swipes. So what happens is that it's pretty good progression. As you get older, the more swipes you do, but then the redemption rate, look at the redemption rate, drops off to almost zip once you get past 50. Now, I don't know if this is because you're too old and decrepit to walk to the store to redeem this thing or not, but basically there's a lot of interest. They're swiping a whole heck of a lot, but they're not redeeming a whole heck of a lot. So maybe they're not getting the right stuff in terms of coupons. In the blue bars, we have the percentage of swipes. In the green bars, we have the percentage of redeemed. So it's like help to give us a kind of a base to work with. And so, for example, we can see that there's an awful lot of activity in the swiping. This is ours. This is midday, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We see a lot of activity, through the time when the mall is open. And then I was kind of perplexed by this sort of thing, like here's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. And I was thinking, isn't the mall supposed to be shut at that time? How can they be swiping? So when I asked the Moco company, I said, well, how was any swipes? They said, that's because there were security guards also part of the trial, and they were swiping during those after hours. That's what was going on. Next question, are we lazy? And this comes down to location, because I showed you that map earlier of the mall. We actually had maps of all 3 levels, and basically we worked out by using a ruler. Remember the 13 pods we had? We could work out using a ruler the distance by going from where the pod you swiped at to where the store actually is. And so again, using that theme of all coupons versus redeemed coupons, you can see that as the horizontal distance, here it goes, this is scaled from 0 up to 27. As the distance gets shorter, you can see the green bars very much dominating the blue. Look at this thing here. So if I'm really close by, I'm going to be redeeming here. We go to the other side of it here where it's a long way away. The blue bars are dominating the green, meaning that, yes, the closer you are, the more likely you are to redeem the coupon. So you'd be relieved to know that we have some consistency with Martin stuff. We do have, if the level difference is 0, meaning that the pod is on the same level as the store where I swiped my pod, then there's a little bit higher redemption rate there. And a little bit lower if it's 1 level away. If it's 2 levels away, not really a lot of difference there. I just wanted to show you some of the stores themselves. When I say Moco, that's the name of the company that ran this thing. They had their own desk, and they sometimes ran promotions. Now, remember, the average redemption rate was 1%. Well, whenever they did something which was some sort of giveaway, they got a pretty good redemption rate. Pancake Parlor, Eric, here we go, 1.5% for Pancake Parlor. So it's batting above average here. Shakeaway, this is this new little thing. They did pretty well, 2.5% redemption rate. The highest one we got was almost 17%. And that was for Donut King. Congratulations to the winner of a free donut from Donut King, and it's located on the food court. So even a free donut, okay, we only got 17% redemption. So this is the top end, okay? Does category matter? Yes, it does matter a lot because the snack food category dominated everybody else. And here's all coupons. In terms of percent of redemptions, snack food did a much better job in terms of getting redemption. First of all, we've got distance from the pod point to the store itself. It's a negative coefficient. Same sort of thing that Martin got. The further away the store is, the less likely you are to redeem. All right? So we are lazy. The level difference is 0. If the store is on the same level at which I swipe my phone, we've got a positive coefficient now, 0.13, meaning that, again, I'm lazy. If I don't have to go up the elevator and stuff, I'll probably be more likely to redeem. The offer size, positive. That is, the bigger the discount, the more likely I am to redeem. So again, these people are interested in getting a price discount. These other ones here that are not significant, just highlight them briefly. We talked about $1. Is it a dollar discount? Is it a percent discount? The expiry length and the minimum threshold, you've got to spend $50 to actually get anything off. None of those were significant. So it's like the price format once you get beyond once you get beyond the bit that says how much discount am I going to get, the format about how you display the information in the text message, that didn't matter at all. Okay. There are just a few things about time and day. There was a special day that had on the 15th of October. They called a VIP day. A lot of activity, so that basically got a higher redemption rate. Morning at the 10% significance level was significant. So a little bit more, not afternoon, Martin, I have to tell you. Morning was better in Australia. It must be morning people. And Mondays work better than Thursday. Now, I know the reason for Thursday because that's the day social welfare comes out in Australia. And so people have a bit more money on a Thursday than, I don't know what's going on with Monday, but Thursday I can explain. So one final thing I wanted to do was to say, well, look, can we figure out a way of optimizing the dispensing of these coupons, because I have a certain amount of inventory available, and if someone swipes, if I'm lucky, I know their age and their gender, I know what their history is, of their swiping history, and maybe I can, be sensible about the coupons I should give to them in the future. So here's just a few ideas about how this might work, and can we perhaps even play with the coupons themselves? So the first thing I did was got to put together a little computer program to work out what the baseline redemption rate is. This is slightly under. This is like a predicted redemption rate. It's about 0.9%. So it's pretty close to the 1% that we saw in the observed data. And so what if you increase the discount by 10%? So it used to be, say, 50% discount or 30% discount. Just add 10 points to it, all right? What happens to the redemption rate then? Well, it goes up to 1.24%. So that's kind of in the direction we'd expect. It goes up because you've made the discount higher. Let's try something else. What about we halve the distance to the store? Make it easier for them to get there, okay? Well, then the redemption rate's 1.02%. What if we use only, bog off sounds a bit crude, I know, buy one, get one free coupon, okay? The redemption rate goes to 1.2%, right? So that was also predicted from the model. And the other one is just give them snack food, okay? Don't do anything except snack food coupons, because that seems to be working. And look at this, you triple your redemption rate doing snack food. So I think in the future, the lesson is don't mess with menswear and electronics and clothing. Just give them snack food, because that seemed to be the successful coupon to run with. So let me wrap it up here. And I say we are lazy, and I don't mean that in a bad sense. I mean, basically, location does matter a lot. Bigger discounts get you a higher redemption rate. Snack food is good. Morning's slightly better. Some days of the week, depending on what's going on socio-demographically, will work better for you. Not much change across gender, but and older people, they're certainly in there. They're the ones that they're active, but they're not really participating in terms of redemption. Where to from here? Well, I'm using a word here that's sort of a swear word in modelling land, endogeneity. And I'm hoping Eric can give me some clues before. The issue is this, is that the coupons may not be dispensed in a totally random way. So if you're clever, and you'd hope this is going on, that you assign coupons on the basis of your expected outcome. And so it's got to be dealt with. And the other thing I mentioned earlier on too, the supply side, which is that we've got this company, Moco, the next stage they wanted to go to is to say, well, can I get cleverer about the way I dispense the coupons? Well, I gave them one idea, just do snack food only. That's the first clever idea I've got for you, is just forget about all the other categories, knock on the door of only the snack food companies and retailers and work with them. And that will help you figure out an optimal coupon delivery system. That is it for me, so I'll wrap it up there.